So, good morning or afternoon. Um, Here is the video that goes along with the worksheet that is posted on Google Classroom for your Unit 2A test corrections. So the directions are the same as what we did the first time around for Unit Test 1. So you'll sign into Edpuzzle using Google. You'll do the assignment Unit 2A expressions and equations corrections video. You'll watch the Edpuzzle video. You'll take notes for each problem on the left. And when the video pauses, you will complete the practice problem on the right and submit/check your answer so that it'll pause and it'll have the question for you. You have to answer it and then you can continue. The practice problem answer must be correct. All notes and work must be shown to raise the current test grade. So when I post that worksheet, you can either print it out or you can write the work on a separate sheet of paper. You will attach it to that assignment and you will turn that in. Okay. You will also turn in your Edpuzzle. If you need the Edpuzzle video again, so you can do it as many times as you need to get them all correct within the week that you have. Email me with your name and your class period and just ask me to reset the video and I will reset it for you. Okay, so the directions are the same as what we did before. So let's get started on the problems. So problem 1A, it was actually problem number 4 on your test. It's a word problem. A couple of these are word problems. It seemed like you guys struggled a little bit with the word problems. So let's go over these. So Bob bought a broken motor scooter, repaired it, and sold the scooter. So he sold the scooter for $130. That was 50 less than 1.5 times what he paid for it. Which equation can be used to find P, the amount of money which Bob initially paid for the broken scooter? So we know the total is going to be what he sold it for. And in this case, the total is 130. So we know it's going to equal 130. Then they give us this other piece of information, 2 pieces of information. It says that it's 50 less than 1.5 times what he paid for it. And we know P is the amount he paid for the broken scooter. So we know that it's 1.5 times P, so 1.5 P times P, and it's 50 less than. So less than means subtraction, so we would subtract 50 from that. Okay, if it said more than, then we'd add 50. Okay, so if we look at this equation, which one does it match up with? So it looks like it matches up with letter D. So D is the correct answer. Okay, you have to read it carefully and think about if it makes sense. So you are going to, the video is going to pause. You need to complete problem 1B and put in your answer, and then you will continue. Okay, question number 2. It was question 2 on your test, which is funny. So it just worked out. So it wants to know all expressions equivalent to negative 90x plus 60. So remember, equivalent means equal. So equal to that. So we have to do each of these separately. So let's start with A. Okay, on all of these we have to distribute. So we have to distribute the negative 30 to the 3x. So we get a negative times a negative is a positive. So we get positive 90x, and negative 30 times 2 is negative 60. 90x minus 60. Well, that's not the same. So we know that A is not the correct answer. Okay, so then we look at B. Same thing. All of these problems we have to distribute first. So 30 times negative 3x is negative 90x. 30 times positive 2 is positive 60. Okay, they are the same, so we know B is one of our answers. B is an answer. Okay, let me cross out A in red because that will make it easier so you guys see it. Okay, so let's look at C. So again, we have to distribute. So that one worked. So we distribute 10 times negative 9x, which is negative 90x. And 10 times 6, positive 6, is 60 plus 60. Oh, we got it again. So C is also one of our answers. Remember, this problem says select all that apply. So we're going to have a minimum of 2 answers. We could have 3, we could have 4. So we have to check out all the possibilities. So now we look at D. We do the same thing, distribute. Negative 10 times 9x is negative 90x. And negative 10 times negative 6 is positive 60. Well, so now we have 3 answers. So we have B, C, and now D. Let's check if we end up with 4 answers. We could possibly. So for E, we have to do the same thing. We have to distribute that negative 10. So negative 10 times 9x is negative 90x. Okay, so it's starting out correct. And then negative 10 times positive 6, that's where it changes. That is actually a negative 60. So A and E aren't correct answers. So the ones that are correct are B, C, and D. So you got to distribute the number out front. Watch your signs because I think that's where most people have their struggles. Okay? And remember, there could be up to 4 answers. Do all of them just to make sure. So the video is going to pause now. You need to do 2B and enter your answer. Okay, now we're on to problem 3. So problem 3 is another word problem where we have to come up with an equation. So this one says Lisa made $201.50 selling 13 of her old video games. If she sold them all at the same price, which equation can be used to find P, the price she sold each video game for? Okay, so we have to figure out which equation makes sense. So we know she sold 13 games and she made, the total was 211. So 201.50. So $201.50. So we know that's the total. So we need to set it equal to that. So I know that it's going to equal 201.50 because that's the total she made. So she sold 13 and P is the price for each video sold. I would have to multiply the 13 times the P, the price per video game. So 13P. So it would be A. Okay. We don't want to, so D doesn't make sense because she's not selling each video game for $201.50. That's her total. She wishes she was selling them all for $201.50. That would be wonderful, but that's not correct. If I divide the price per video game by the number, it's not going to equal, its price is not the total. The price is the price per game. Okay, so that's why the division doesn't work. So A is correct. So now the video will pause. You need to do problem 3B, which is almost very similar to it, and put in your answer, and then we will go on to your last problem, which is problem 4. Okay, here we have problem 4. So problem 4 was actually test question number 6. It's another word problem, but this one has a table included. So it says local library charges 6 cents for each day a book is overdue. Overdue means if it's late. Okay. Plus, that's an important word, a one-time record keeping fee of 19 cents. So 6 cents a day plus 19 cents, one charge of 19 cents. The function table below shows the relationship between the number of days a book was overdue and the total penalty in cents. So they want us to figure out for 37 days, how much would my fee be? So it tells me that my total is going to equal 6 times D, which is, I just use D as days. So 6 cents a day plus 19 cents. And on this, they tell us that the number of days is equal to, that we want to find, is 37. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this equation and I am going to plug in 37 for D. So 6 times 37 plus 19. So when we multiply 6 times 37, we get 222 plus 19. 222 plus 19 is 241 cents. Or $2.40 total. $2. But they're keeping it in cents, so our answer would be B, 241 cents. So we're only getting charged the 19 once, so that's why it's not being multiplied by anything. The 6 cents we're being charged every day that I have the book out past its due date. And in this case, it was 37 days, so I'm going to owe $241 cents, or $2.41. Okay, so the video is going to pause. You are going to work on problem 4B. Remember, you need to take a picture of your work once you're done and submit it on Google Classroom. Also, make sure that you got these all right. If you did not, then send me an email and I can reset your Edpuzzle for you. Okay? Let me know if you have any questions. I will see you guys later. Have a good day.